Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Hi, how is everyone doing today, tonight? So, as always, if you're like me, you live and breed reptiles, we aren't here for the clicks or for the viral trends. We're here for the passion. Basically, I started this show because I wanted a place for the real keepers and dedicated breeders to finally have a community within Europe where we can talk shop, share tips and tricks, and basically dive deep into the hobby that we love. We're doing it with one single goal, and that is sharing the passion that drives us. Every week, we're sitting down with some of the biggest legends in the game and some of the newest up and coming prospects, too. So, my name is Roger from Pappy's Premium Pythons, and this is Pappy's Premium Pod. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing things a little bit differently. So, first of all, let me welcome the first person, our co host tonight, Andy from Saltarine Serpentine. Hello, Andy. How are you doing tonight?
Hi, good evening, everyone.
You excited for this one?
Excited, man! A new chat testing company, so we are curious to hear more about it.
Yeah, that's good. Cool. So let's not waste any more time. Ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about the passion, we've talked about art, we've talked about the history, but today we're talking about the genetic truth. Our guest is, leading the charge in the scientific revolution of the European hobby. She is the mind behind the lab that is ending the guessing game once and for all. If you ever wondered if that pos hets was the real deal, or if you want just absolute certainty that your investment is backed by DNA, this is the woman that you need to know. Bringing cutting edge technology and a new standard of integrity to every breeder in Europe, please help me welcome the woman behind REPGEN, Tereza.
Hey everyone. Thank you for such nice
Hello.
Hey.
How you doing, Tereza?
Good. I hope everyone's having a good evening.
Yeah, we too. Wow, with plenty of people on tonight.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
Bashcoders here. Hello. Look
I,
at that.
I invited all my international friends.
Nice.
Nice. Great to see it. Yeah, we've even got Pragmorphs here tonight. Look at that. How about we make it even a little bit better, huh? And bring on our next surprise guest, Evan himself.
Yeah. Right.
Man, we've got a full house today, huh?
Yeah.
You don't see this every day.
Yeah. Normally we would be in the same places, but I'm on the other side of the world. So
Yeah.
That's right. So do you want to talk about that a little bit for the people that don't know?
Sure. Well, as maybe you can see behind me, I'm in Texas at the RGI office. I've been here for the past 2 weeks, and I'm gonna be here one more week because their main lab tech, she just gave birth to a beautiful, cute little baby, and so she's taking some time off, to take care of it, and I'm just here doing tests for everyone.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
nice. That's
it's a lot
really
of
cool.
fun.
So, I mean, I don't want to take up that much of your time. So I'd say we skip the small talk and get straight into it, right?
Let's do it.
So, I mean, what I want to know is how did you get started in this? Like, where does your science background come from? Like, I heard obviously somewhere that you went to university for this guy, but talk about that. How did that all get started?
Yeah. So I was always interested in biology and chemistry. It started, I guess, like, at school, in high school. I would do all these like chemistry Olympics and like all these competition for kids. And then I went on to university, and I didn't exactly go to like biology and chemistry focused thing, but I have a degree from med school, from a medicine program that's like not a doctor, but something similar. And we had all these classes, genetics, anatomy, pathology, all this stuff. And the genetic stuff was always super interesting to me. And even though I didn't end up working in that field, obviously, because I was doing snakes with Devon, it was always something that really interested me. So when we were kind of figuring out what to do with this, I was super excited that I could be the one doing the testing, So yeah, that's.
So is it me, or did you just blame Devon for not being a doctor?
I don't think so.
He pulled you out, man.
No.
You had a nice straight path for your life, and Devon just came in and let's read
Swoop me.
I'm only messing around. So the next thing I want to know personally, and guys in the comments, feel free to ask your questions. We'll try and get them answered as much as possible. REPGEN itself, right? What is REPGEN? Obviously, I'm assuming it means reptile genetics, but like, how did you come up with the name? What does it mean to you? How did the idea get started?
So actually, when I was thinking of like the logo and stuff, we kept having Pragmorph shed testing as the logo, and I really didn't like it. It's boring. So we were talking about this with the people from RGI, and I was on the call with Ben Morrill, he's a PhD who does all the research for RGI here, and he actually came up with the name. Because when they were thinking about RGI, I guess that was one of the options. He was saying that's something he always liked. And he was like, you guys are free to use it. And we really liked it. I tried it on the logo. It fit perfectly. So that's what we went with. And we're super happy with it.
Yeah. You were talking about Photoshop before we got started. So I take it you do all that kind of graphic design and everything. So you did the logo yourself?
Yeah, I didn't do the Pragmorph logo because my friend works in like branding and stuff, so she did it for us. But this logo, we just wanted something that combines, RGI and us, so I did that myself.
Okay, cool.
I like messing around with this stuff, so it was fun.
Yeah. Okay, so the process behind a shed test, right? So obviously, I've heard you talking about what's the word? Is it reagents that you've brought over from RGI to basically do the shed tests here? Like, how does that all work? Like, if you have do you get false negatives or false positives? Is everything always 100% clear? Can you tell if you just missed the marker or something like that?
So the reagents are, I would say, like perfected until we know they work. So once we release a test, we know it works. Obviously, that doesn't mean that there will never be a mistake. Like there can be a mistake from the first step of the breeder getting the shed. You know what I mean? Like
that's most of them, right?
mixing up the bags or contaminating the shed in your own facility, stuff like that. I'm sure we'll touch on that. And there can be, or like someone sending the wrong result to the person, even though the result says something else somewhere in some other spreadsheet and stuff. But that's why I think it's very important that people test with someone they like have trust in. So yeah, I hope I can be that for people.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. And Andy, feel free to jump in at any time.
Don't say too much.
You like to be quiet, but not today, please.
That depends. So what is one thing that is new about the shed testing you will offer is that you also provide panel tests, right?
Yes.
But you can you tell a little bit more about it, and maybe also like how long it would take if someone orders that?
Mhm. So the panel tests, because they are done a bit differently, a different method than the what we call fast tests, they take longer. Right now, it's about 3 to 4 weeks. It might change a bit in the future because we are getting some stuff ready, which we won't talk about yet, but just to get you excited. But yeah, that takes about that time. It also doesn't test all the genes we have, but we have right now what is a 50 gene panel. So on our Instagram, you can find on the REPGEN Instagram, you can find a list of the genes that it tests, and yeah, it's useful for people that don't know what they have at all. You know what I mean? Like maybe dinker stuff that might not be a dinker. It might just be something that's already there. Or if you want to test 6 and more genes on the same snake, you don't mind the wait, that it's a bit longer, then panel test is good for you. With the fast test, testing by one, it's a lot faster for now. Like, obviously not now because I'm not in Europe, but so far I've had people receiving sheds. I know, Andy, I'm sorry, you're one of the victims of me being gone. But yeah, I received sheds and I gave people results within 2 days. So that's probably the biggest advantage compared to the panel test. If you want to sell a snake and you want your results fast, that's the choice you should make.
But of course, with the combos, it's getting more and more complicated when you potentially have like a 8-gene combo and you have no idea what could be it. Yeah, then it's good to maybe do a panel test to
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So otherwise you just have to start like test 1 and then guess and then keep going. So it would probably take the same amount of time, even if you kind of thought you knew what you were doing. Just because you have to keep adding tests on and everything. So yeah, as he said.
So just for the people at home then, in case, I don't know if there's anybody out there, well, I'm pretty sure there's still a lot of people out there that are not shed testing. You know, say if I wanted to test for 5 different genes, do I need to send 5 separate sheds, or do I send one shed? How does that work?
So all we need is one shed. It doesn't even have to be the whole shed. If you test, for example, 5 tests, you know, I can work with like a shed the size of like a €2 coin. That's all I need. So I can do all the tests I need from that. So we definitely don't need the whole shed. We just need a tiny piece.
So then that's what. So you say something about the size of a €2 coin. Then, would you like cut that down to 5 pieces, or do you use that same piece? Okay, so you break it down because you know, for testing, it doesn't have to be something big. Because I know, like, I don't know if you guys are doing it, but I know in the States they can do the belly clippings.
Yeah, we can do that as well. It's just, I just always tell people when they want to do it, it's totally fine. Just make sure to include more than one, because sometimes it happens here that people just send one belly clip. And then if there is a test that needs to be rerun, the sample, something's wrong with the sample or something, if we have a piece of shed, we can take another piece, right, for the test again. But if we have one belly clip, we don't have anything else to take. So at least 2 or 3 belly clips is perfect.
Yeah,
I was actually quite scared the first time I did the belly clipping, but it's pretty easy and it doesn't hurt the animal at all. You literally just take a pair of scissors, you go onto the belly, and they have like if the scales would be like this, you would get the scissors this way and you would pull up, and then from there you can see a clear piece of the shed, and you want to cut the clear piece, not the part of the skin that has color, because essentially you're just taking the like shed that would be like gotten rid of in the future. So yeah, you just do that. So if you were going to do multiple belly clippings, you wouldn't do it from the same scale. You would do like different spots on the belly.
Yeah. I'm gonna be expecting a how-to tutorial on your YouTube channel.
There's actually one. If you look at RGI's YouTube, they already have one there. I can make one also, of course. Yeah, but
it's a good idea.
It'd be fun to see Devin doing it.
Yeah, I'll have him do it for the camera.
I have to do a few anyways when she gets back. So
yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, Devin, even for you, that must be great, right? Now that you know you have basically a shed testing company, inside your facility. So
yeah, it's definitely a big advantage. I guess the biggest thing for me is the speed, because we don't let hatchlings shed out together anymore. We separate them from day one. So in order for us to have the answer before the snakes even had its first meal attempt is pretty nice, because now between the move and everything, it's kind of a bit disorganized having to go back and see an animal from like 5 months ago that's a 66% het. So now we're just going to be able to separate, like, hey, this is tested, this is for sale, this is a holdback, instead of kind of this like all over the place that it was this year. So the speed of having her next door is incredible.
Yeah. To be fair, that's something not obviously for shed testing purposes. I mean, also kind of a little bit, but even before people started, because obviously, in the last few months, a lot of people have been talking about doing this. Like, you can separate them as soon as they come out of the egg. They don't have to stay bundled up together and wait for the first shed and stuff. You can separate the snakes straight away. And I was actually doing this already, not knowing that, just for my own like organizational purposes and stuff like that. I was already doing it anyway. So, I mean, yeah, now if you want to shed this, obviously it just makes things so much faster.
Yeah. And then Justin and these guys were already separating clutches like this like 2-3 years ago. So,
yeah, it's just, I think maybe I wasn't looking in the right place. I don't think it was something that was spoken about, openly a lot.
I think for shed testing, most people just let them together, because it's if you don't need the sheds, then it's more convenient to just leave them together and let them shed and then separate them. But now with shed testing, it doesn't make sense to do it like that.
Yeah. Do you guys see maybe more for Devin actually? No, actually, Tereza, for you as well. Do you guys see a future where verified hets become the standard, and basically selling a pos het animal becomes kind of a red flag? Or do you think that's always going to be there?
You can take it.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely do see that this is going to happen at some point. There's always going to be a percentage of the market that won't be tested just because of the value of the animals and people can't afford it. But I think that there will come a time when, like, if you see an animal that's worth over X dollars that isn't tested, like, yeah, then it starts turning into a red flag. Because if you go out there and you talk to anybody who's bought animals in big numbers and big values, everybody's bought expensive animals that didn't prove, or everyone's bought something that was 100% het and it got mixed up or whatever. So I think that it is going to happen. It's just going to take a lot of time, because I think that a lot of people still struggle to wrap their head around the fact that there still can be human error. But of course, there's still human error in us IDing our animals anyways. So yeah, I definitely see it going that way. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, the reason I let you answer the question is because Devin always says, like, if there's an expensive animal, like, how is this 66% something when someone's trying to sell it for X amount of thousands of dollars, right? So I definitely agree with that like there will always be animals where people don't see it as being worth it for like selling the animal. The test is gonna cost more than the animal. Of course, they won't test it. But on these animals, and like with all the new genes coming out and the combos being like over ID'd very often, I think it's gonna become more and more of a standard.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I want to get into a bit of like the new gene kind of timeline. So if there's a breeder, out there that's got something brand new, say like, and the next new recessive or whatever, even if it's codon, whatever, what's the actual process and the timeline for you to sequence that and basically offer a test for it?
So this is a very hard question to answer, because obviously it depends on how lucky we are, first of all, and second of all, how many genes we actually get from sheds we get from people for research, right? And also, I like what Sean here at RGI always says. It's like when you shake an apple tree. some of the apples fall first, right? So some of the genes you can get very fast. You can get it within weeks, and then the test is ready because it's easy to validate and all that stuff. But some of the apples really don't want to get off the tree, and those are the ones that take a lot longer. So I actually cannot give you like a timeline of this, unfortunately.
Okay.
But we do have a bunch of new genes coming. I'm gonna be bringing back everything that RGI has to offer, plus a few more that I'll tell you soon.
Nice. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
So
let me add to this. I think the monsoon was the longest test development so far. It took even several years, I think.
Yeah, it took
They
a
really
very
tried
long
hard, but they couldn't figure it out for a super long time.
Yeah, but now there has been some new developments, and I think the tests are gonna be coming faster and faster.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
Yeah, I saw in RGI's announcements earlier this week that they've a few more tests and stuff, and banana/coral was in there, and I was like, wait, what? We didn't have a test for, but it's like I didn't even realize because it's been around for so long and everyone's been working it so much that you're like, how did we not have a test for it?
Yeah, exactly. And even some people we've heard say like, why would you need to test banana? Like it's obvious to see, but then there will be combos where it's harder to ID at some point. We have people testing pastel, we have people testing genes that people would think are obvious, like hurricane, right? Hurricane is so visual. We test plenty of hurricane. We tested a bunch of hurricane on our own animals. So
yeah, I know in combo specifics, especially hurricane. Like I know last year, I can't remember who exactly, but it was one of the Italian breeders. He posted a picture on his story. So what I thought was a crazy lavender albino combo, and I was like, oh man, what kind of lavender albino is that? What's in it? And he's like, it's a banana. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so crazy. I don't think I ended up even knowing what it was. But anyway, so what I want to ask next is, obviously you say you're going to bring a lot of tests back with you from RGI. So say RGI develops a new test for something new that we don't have. How long before you get it?
I mean, we think it will be like 2-3 weeks. It won't be that long because basically all that needs to happen is for it to be shipped to us. Yeah. So, if the shipping is figured out, which we already have it figured out, I've been coming here, so I bring the reagents back, but we have it all figured out, so it shouldn't be long.
That's always a manual process, right? You have
Sorry?
you have to bring those reagents with you back hand. It's not something that can be shipped over.
Yeah. I mean, I literally just have them in a box with packs of ice. I grab them, I go on the plane.
Take them home.
Every time there will be a new test, you have to bring it.
No. It's only because I've been coming here anyway, so I'm grabbing as much as I can. Yeah, but obviously, every time there's a new test, so we won't be able to do that, unfortunately. Even though I like it here very much. But we have a shipment protocol set up. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so because I heard you talk about before of how your whole thing with the delayed flights and canceled flights and stuff, and traveling with the frozen reagents and being afraid that they would thaw basically. It's interesting that as soon as it's thawed out, it's gone, right? You can't use it.
I mean, it's not like exactly like that, but to be safe, like they obviously can get warm. Like if they're thaw and they're still cold, it's fine. But there's definitely reagents that are more sensitive than others. Like for example, puzzle is way more sensitive than like pied. So Theoretically, Pied could stay out longer than Puzzle, if that makes sense.
Yeah, very good. So, is there what what's one thing that you can't test for that drives you crazy?
I think that's maybe a question for Devon, since he sees
Yeah,
it.
well, yeah. I'm throwing the questions out there. You guys
Yeah.
can sort of feel free to jump in and out as you want.
To be honest, one of the ones that we need eventually is we need to get our own sexing test, because it happens a few times a year now where we hatch something that's not obvious, whether it's a male or a female. And right now we actually have the problem with triple recessive that we bought last year. That should be a male and it's probably a female, but it's nice to have some it's nice to be able to test that and be like, okay, we're positive it's a female, so that someone doesn't waste time, 2 or 3 years raising it up and then ends up being something else. But she'll get that eventually.
Yeah.
But doesn't RGI have that in the US?
They do, but it's done it's a different process than the morph genes. So we were, our priority was the morphs.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Because how many sex tests are you really going to get a year? Like, not lots, right?
Yeah.
That's what I would have thought. But yeah, kind of to go on the back of that, one of the questions I had here was, if you see a future where you could also test for different things, obviously, sex determination would be one of them. But another one that I think would be very interesting would be like the nidovirus, for example. Is that something that you see happening in the future, or?
I think definitely, yes. Obviously there's still so many more that we haven't covered. So that's the priority now, but I would not be surprised if one day that was the, that would happen too.
Yeah, that's cool. That would be very interesting as well to see, because I see I mean, specifically where I am, it's kind of hard to do tests like that. Because most things happen, obviously, Central Europe kind of thing. And certain places only accept basically they need to have like an established protocol with the vet clinic. So they kind of need to find a vet clinic that's willing to set up a partnership with said laboratory, and it can be a bit of a hassle.
Have you tried messaging LaboClin? They might just send you a kit themselves and you can just send it back.
I think that's exactly the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, the one that they have a few of them now. There's like a Polish one, a German one.
That's the one I'm talking about. They're also in Spain, which is obviously next door to me. But they're the ones that they will only work through vets. Yeah. But no, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So what's the next big thing then for REPGEN, let's say?
I think for now is we are starting to figure out some partnerships with ordering. I won't go into too much details about it, but it's exciting because nothing's set up yet. But we should have some places where you can order shed testing soon, so it won't have to go through me personally and stuff anymore. So that I'm sure in upcoming weeks we'll release more information about that. And then just, get as many tests, as many good results and fast results to people as possible. That's the main goal right now. I'm sure in the future, as we've been talking about it, possibly we will not only test for ball python morphs and spread out to other species as well, because RGI is doing that also, So right now the main focus is ball pythons, fast results. I'm sure in the future that will get bigger.
Yeah. So when it comes to the actual, morphs and the tests, obviously I know that RGI is actively working on trying to develop more and more tests and stuff like that. I don't know the whole process behind it, but are you going to be doing something similar? Are you contributing to like the research and development of new tests and stuff?
So I'm not doing the research myself as well. We are leaving that all up to the Dr. Ben Morrell I was telling you about. But we are definitely contributing in a way that we are sending sheds for research. So basically, any genes we don't have to offer or RGI doesn't have to offer, and you want to see a test for, you can send us the sheds and we put them all together. We also use our sheds a lot. We have genes they don't have, like what were we just sending? Stranger, Cosmos, Mandarin, all this stuff. We send it all to them here. So
Yeah, that's what I was going to, because there's a lot of genes coming out of Europe. There's a lot of stuff that's being programmed and coming out of Europe, so it would make sense to have that bridge.
Yeah.
Very good. So one of the things a couple of weeks ago, the guest I had on was Jürgen from Pro Herber, which is kind of like your direct competitor right now. So and yeah, he was talking about obviously how he was a bit surprised that you guys had done this. He's obviously had no idea, and to be fair, it's nobody's business but your own, in my opinion. But I asked him a question like, would you be open to obviously collaborating with REPGEN, and if you guys had to work together to develop a new test, is that something that you're also open to?
I mean, it's not up to us, it's up to RGI.
Yes.
And RGI are very big on loyalty and very choosy with who they work with. So whether that happens or not, I'm sure they have their reasons. So yeah. It's not up to us.
Yeah. I also know that Dr. Ben Morrell, at least, he talks about how he's in touch with Charlie, that runs the other testing company in the States, and they have a bit of a relationship as well, where they go back and forth and try to work together on things. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
On the back of that, like, say someone comes up with a new gene or whatever, how many sheds roughly do you think it would need to try and develop a test, or at least to get started in trying to find something?
I mean, we usually like to say like a plate, which is about like, 60, more than 60 sheds. And as I said, if the apple falls easily, we need less. If the apple falls harder, we need more. So
yeah, so it's always dependent.
Yeah.
And I recommend and advise people on here that are interested about this kind of stuff to check out the RGI's YouTube channel, because the lives that they do and the announcements that they do, there's a lot of useful information.
Yeah.
I saw recently they had the graph with the green dots, and it was like, so this is kind of like, we could start searching here, and there was like 200 markers or whatever it is. I don't know what the actual name for it is, but it was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It really is like finding a needle in a haystack, right?
It is, yeah. Obviously, the more sheds, the better, right? Like, it's not always possible, because some of these genes are not like some of the genes are way more prominent in Europe than in the US, so it's harder for us to get the tests and stuff like that. But for example, with Stranger now, they're working on Stranger. We'll see how much longer that's gonna take. But we now are lucky enough to have the original Strangers, right? So everything's gonna go after them to help with the research. So we hope that helps, yeah. And I personally love working with Ben. He's extremely smart. He's such a nice person, and he does the live streams. They do one every 2 weeks now, and that's also for people that are interested in this stuff. It's really, really good watch. Another thing also I would probably point out here is that Leviathan Snakes, Steven, they just released a couple of weeks ago now, maybe, they released a documentary called Shed. And it's about the start of shed testing. Maybe some of you have seen it, but that's like the starting point to watch. And then from there, I will go back on the live streams.
That was a month ago, Tereza.
Yeah.
That was like 1st of January.
I'm so busy. I feel like,
flies.
fly for you.
Yeah.
Tereza's been gone for like a week and a half, and it just feels like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Devin's
but
having withdrawal symptoms.
Some people
Sorry.
don't follow the YouTube stuff so much, so it's good to still say that it exists.
Yeah, it's a really good documentary too. So.
Leviathan documentaries are always like very high quality.
Exactly.
Yeah, he does really good.
He's a very good like video person. So
I actually I was like setting up stuff for today yesterday, and I was here working away, and I saw that MJ was going live with Stephen and Courtney. So obviously, even after I finished my work, I didn't go to bed. I actually stayed up the whole time to watch to touch the episode. So I went to bed at like almost 3 a.m. But it was worth it. It was worth it.
yeah.
Yeah. So I want to actually get back to the start because I think I skipped this question. Like, how did the idea for you guys get started? Because I've heard this before, but for my audience that's listening and watching at home, how did you guys? When did you guys say like, let's start our own shed testing business or company, whatever?
I think.
Whose idea was it?
I think it was my idea. I've been kind of looking at something like not away from snakes, but like something that I can do that can be mine. You know what I mean? And this was just the perfect opportunity. And we were looking for maybe, let's say, like more accessible testing for us. And, we needed to test some genes we didn't have available, stuff like that. So I was like, let's maybe try to work with them. They have some genes we need and stuff like that. So I emailed Sean, who's like the business main guy of RGI, who's actually chair I'm sitting in right now. And so I emailed him, and obviously we're in Europe. They have no idea who we were. They didn't really want to have much to do with us in the beginning. But
just to interrupt, I'm surprised at that, to be fair.
Yeah,
because everyone knows who Pragmorphs is. So when he gets a message on Instagram from Pragmorphs, I'm like, I don't know who these are.
We're not that big. I promise we're not that big.
There's still people. Don't worry.
If you're online, you have to know. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, but anyway, I think maybe he asked around a little bit. Some people knew us that he knows, stuff like that. So we just started chatting a bunch. We started jumping on Zoom calls, talking a bit more about it. And then one day he was like, guys, like this all sounds good, but if you're serious, you're just going to have to come here. And 2 weeks later, we were on a plane. So yeah,
What's the timeline here? When did this happen? How long ago was it?
I think we started... When was it? When did I write the first email?
I think
October. I think maybe September-ish. It's been about 6 months, I think, since the beginning.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
So very quick.
Yeah. Well,
from that to
good partnerships develop fast, man.
Yeah.
From that to obviously you had to build the lab. I mean, your facility work was already ongoing, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that was already happening, and before we even knew this for certain, we were like, hey, so this room could be for that, and if it doesn't work out, it will be for something else. So
okay, that's what I was going to ask, because it wouldn't have fallen into the plans.
The plans were first, and then we were just like hoping it all works out, and if not, we would adjust. So yeah, we really wanted those fast results fast, so we made sure it works.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So I guess a question more for Devin then it would be, what's your favorite gene to work with?
What's my favorite gene to work with? Man, that's a really tough one. Obviously, we really like puzzle stuff, but I guess recently, going off of like what's obvious, I've been really liking hurricane and things, and both puzzle and clown and lace stuff recently. I didn't think that we would have so much positive demand for lace. Everybody wants good lace stuff. So this year I've made some changes so that we have more lace stuff essentially.
Andy could tell you a thing or two about lace.
Trust me, everybody can. It's not just him.
Yeah, most people who bought it before the tests probably got some incorrect identified.
Yeah, and not lace essentially.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We are testing everything that could be lace, even if we think it's not, even if we're certain it is, it's all getting tested.
And
Yeah.
some of the stuff that we think is obvious is not, and
Mhm.
vice versa. We've even tested a few animals multiple times now, and like maybe as babies they look identical, but then as things start to shed, they can change a bit more. So yeah, lace is a weird one, but it's awesome.
That's the thing with lace, right? Because it keeps changing.
Yeah, and in the beginning it doesn't look like anything, or it looks like more than it's weird.
But there's also like quality differences, right? Like when you can have like the same animal more or less, and one looks better than the other. Both are lace, but maybe one is better quality. Like how is other?
All the stuff that screams obvious, except for like 1 or 2 animals, tested positive. But then there were like we hatched spot nose lace clown head hypos, and in the beginning I thought they were all lace, and then after they like shed and stuff, then color started to come in, and then it was like, but in the beginning, like you could say they both have lace, they both don't have lace, and it's not that obvious. And like we have a spot nose fire yellow belly clown and a spot nose fire lace yellow belly clown, and like they look almost identical. And I thought the test was wrong, but the other one tested negative twice already. So unless there's just like another line floating around, but how could there be another line when it's coming from a codom animal? Like it would have to be on both sides for the other line to be there. So yeah, but that's what I've been enjoying lately.
Yeah, I've been really liking black pastel. To like see in snakes and to test, I think my favorite gene has actually been, aside from lace, has been orange dream. Because
Really?
there's a lot of orange dream that's supers flying around and stuff that isn't actually maybe supers, and it's really cool to like help people figure this out, because we've never had orange dream, and now that we have it, a lot of people want it. So it's my favorite one to test, I think.
Yeah, that's actually that would have been a great question. I'm sorry I didn't think of that.
Sorry, I answered it anyway.
Anyway, man. You want to come on every week? Oh man,
Andy, I'm stealing your job as a co-host.
The more the merrier, right?
Yeah, now that we know it works, it's fine.
Yeah.
But so going back then to the testing, like we spoke about reagents and stuff like that, but what actually is a reagent? What is it?
Well, this is gonna bore people, but if I should say it like the most, like the easiest way I can, it's like a liquid that basically like it's like a puzzle in the liquid that like sits on the other side of the puzzle that is the gene. Is that how you would say it, Andy, for like the layman?
It's for people who don't know anything about it, it's hard to explain. I wouldn't call it puzzle, but it's some small like particles that together form a reaction that give you signals for like the different.
Is that the kind of stuff like whenever I see people using like microscopes, right? They put the little glass thing, they drop, they have a couple of drops to then go and look into is that the kind of thing that you're talking about?
Not really.
These particles are so small that you cannot see them with a microscope.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, it's a lot. So then when you're actually doing a test, right? So what are you taking a little bit of the shed and then putting this reagent liquid on it?
Not exactly, but so what I do is again, I don't want to bore people, so I'm just gonna say it very quickly.
They're here for it. They're
I
here
have
for it.
the little piece of the shed. I put a certain liquid on it, then I put it in one machine, then I put it out, put another liquid it into another liquid, another machine, you know. So it's just like a bunch of like potion work.
Basically magic.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Just like imagine like potion class in Harry Potter.
Okay. So let's say, right, you're sitting at your lab and you're scrolling on Instagram because you've nothing to do. And Devin comes in with a shed and says, test this for me right now. How long does it take you to do all that?
Oh, I mean, if he gives it to me in the morning, I have the result for him in the afternoon or in the evening.
I want to move to Czech Republic. Is there any land close to you guys? I'll just buy a bit of land and then build a little hut and just move there.
We live in the middle of nowhere, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's there's nothing here.
Yeah, that's another thing because I heard you're not Prague Morphs anymore, right?
Yeah. We're
Prague
obviously
Morphs is no longer in Prague.
We
yeah.
won't keep the name. It's not going to change.
Yeah, the name we're keeping. We still started in Prague, you know, so it's still
It's too expensive to stay in Prague, so we had to move.
yeah.
And
You
most
can have
people,
a mansion in Prague.
and most people outside of Czech Republic only know the city Prague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another thing. Like, you know, we weren't gonna change it because everyone already knows that like Prague is in Czech Republic, so at least and 2 hours outside of a big city is still not that bad. So
Yeah, it's like normal driving distance.
yeah, so it's not so bad.
That's another thing. Is people in Europe are so happy to drive. I mean, I work 30 minutes away from my house, and just to think about it, I want to change jobs because 30 minutes is so far away.
Yeah. I'm getting used to it now, but I was definitely the same way. You know, I grew up in a town where I walked to school 5 minutes, you know. Prague is the same. Everything's 15 minutes like on the metro and stuff. And now I have to drive 2 hours to like be in a big city. But like here in the US, everyone's used to it.
That's what I was gonna say. You're in a place where driving is enough.
Yeah.
Those guys are like, yeah, it's 24-hour drive to the show and back. It's fine.
Yeah.
These guys are driving for like 8 hours to go and buy rodent food, and I'm like, what? That's not normal.
Yeah, it's true. Like a
It's
4
like
hours is short.
I have a friend that has a like an exotic pet shop thing close to me. It was actually the guy I went to ham with 2 years ago now. Damn. And yeah, he lives like literally I could drive there in 3 minutes, right? And I never see him because I just can't be bothered. It's like, oh, I have to get in the car and drive. It's like, nah. But it's like 3 minutes away. It's like I could walk to it. Yeah. Different cultures, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good. So, I mean, we covered a lot of stuff here today. Yeah, we did. So is there anything else that you want to talk about, that you want to promote?
I
Let's
mean,
hear
Other than REPGEN?
I mean, I just want to, you know, I'm just excited to come back and be able to, you know, give the results to people fast, because I don't know, I don't think I mentioned this yet on here, but whatever I was doing for Prague Morphs, my brother is taking over, except for taking pictures, photos for like Instagram and stuff. I will still do that. But I have 5-7 days a week to do this. So I really like want to make sure that people get the results fast, you know? So that's the main thing I want to promote.
Yeah, good turnarounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And I think Devin also mentioned it on the pod with Mike, as it's gonna improve turnaround times for everyone, because you know the load's gonna be balanced, right? So I'm an IT guy, so if we're talking like servers, load balancing is basically where if you have one server with 1,000
All the
people
traffic.
connecting to it, it's going to be slow. But if you get another one and then you load balance, it's 500 each, then everything runs more smoothly.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah. I mean, I can't wait to start using it. I'm hoping for 10 clutches this year. But I'd say I'll at least hit 6.
You guys you're already breeding and stuff, building and everything already?
Oh yeah, I had a female. I missed the ovulation, and she went in the shed. So I say I missed the ovulation. I think she ovulated, and I just missed it. So I mean, I could be wrong. She looks like she's nesting. Maybe this is a prelay shed. So I'm just like, I note it down, and I'm counting the days to see if she goes. But if she really does go, it's gonna be a double clutch, because she went last year in, I think, like May. She laid in May. So now if she lays in February, it's gonna be like, wow.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah, I still don't know about that, but yeah, she laid and she got the weight back so quick. Even I was surprised. I was expecting it to take longer. But I've a lot of first time females.
Moms.
Yeah. So so we'll see. I mean, I got to the point where I'm not rushing anymore. Do you know, when you start, you kind of want to rush everything, and yeah, I'm kind of getting to the point where it's all setting down, and I'm like, just whatever happens. You know, man, I've got my incubator ready. I've got, my females, my males. They're pairing, they're eating or not eating. It's just whatever happens. So,
there's kind of like that honeymoon period when you first start of like your plans are really exciting. Like, oh, I can't wait to buy my next rack, and I need a second incubator. But there will come a time where that honeymoon period has kind of settled a bit. And now it's just like the day-to-day work, and the excitement doesn't pass because you're still looking forward to hatching cool animals. But once that like honeymoon period passes, then it's a bit easier to look at everything and figure out like what you want to do and what you think is going to happen. But everybody goes through that honeymoon period phase, so it's not a bad.
It's crazy, yeah. And I remember my problem was the buying. I hope my missus.
Everyone's problem was the buying.
I hope she's not watching, but the amount of money I spent buying animals, that then I stopped and, today I stopped and looked back and I was like, I was such an idiot, man. Why?
I mean,
and
it's
now
the same
they're taking up space. And that's the problem, right?
No, I don't think there's very, very, very few people out there who did it correct from day one. You have to really have someone like holding your hand, and even then, what you think you like today is not what you think you like tomorrow. So it's all the learning.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had on the notes on my phone, I had written down like the animals that I wanted to hit based on the animals that I had, on whether I needed to get an extra female or an extra male or whatever, what it needed to be, like all the genetics, like broken down to hit whatever. And I kept seeing myself just going back and changing it. I was like, I wanted this now. Okay, no, so let's take away Black Pastel and Cypress or something, I just kept changing things. And yeah, I remember when I got into this, right? It was World of Ball Pythons and the calculator that was on it. Because you could add the male and the female, and you could see exactly what the offspring would look like.
Morph calculator.
I went crazy over that. And I was like making all these plans and everything. And nowadays I look back, it's like, I don't even remember the original animal I wanted to hit anymore.
Changed. Keep evolving, man. And just don't forget to have fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing now, I want to grow up those animals that I have. I have some of your animals, some of Andy's animals as well. And I just want to grow them up and just see what happens.
But hey, man, that's the good part of the community, is supporting each other and doing things like this. So
exactly.
Yeah, and mad props to you as well, because like I've said it before, and I didn't even know you personally. Obviously, I knew who you are and your business and stuff, but we have a mutual friend, and I remember like one day I reached out to him. I was like, "Oh, what would you think about this animal, such and such? And I was like, let me ask someone. And I think he reached out to you, and then you're like, gosh, sorry, I don't have that, but he can have this one. And I was like, wait, what? And yeah, it was awesome. And that's the reason as well behind this podcast, right? It's like, obviously I spend a lot of time on YouTube and watching these podcasts in the States, like all of them. Anything ball python related, I'm watching daily. And I'm like, yeah, we really don't have anything like that in Europe, because like I could name you 20 US breeders off the dome, and I couldn't name you 5 European breeders. Do you know what I mean?
It's just harder for us because we have, like, you know, all those guys live in the same country. So even though Texas is different from California, it's still similar enough, right? And we have like big language barriers and everything. So hats off to you, man. It's a good thing to do.
I noticed that when I started, reaching out to people to try and get them on the pod, and I was getting some people replying to me like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to do it, but I'm not comfortable with my level of English," kind of thing. I was like, yeah, you're kind of right, and
also I think in Europe there's also the mentality of not wanting necessarily to show the face like on social media and stuff. So in the US, people, I mean, of course not everyone, but the mentality is more like that they run around like doing vlogging. Hey guys, what's going on? Wow. And here, if you do that here, people look at you like, oh my god, that guy's crazy.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, very good. So I mean, we're pretty much at the hour mark. I don't really want to. I try to keep it at 1 hour, just obviously for the guests and for the people watching. But Andy, is there anything that you want to add?
Let's hear it, Andy. Dr. Andy.
Maybe say which test we don't have yet, but you would be super excited to get here.
That's a good question.
It is a good question. I'm trying to think of what we have that we always need to ID. Redhead. That's a good one that we need.
That is a good one.
Yeah,
I also think Cosmos is a good one, just because of
harder to figure
all
out.
the like unanswered questions. I think it's gonna be interesting to see what's actually happening there. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, if it's actually like a 2 gene thing or not, that would be good to know.
Yeah. Based on Justin's last video, it seems like it is Cosmos White Flame kind of thing. But
yeah, he got it all separated and everything, so he's doing good.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure the genetic testing and stuff will answer these questions as the time goes on.
Yeah, it's crazy to think like a couple of years ago that was something nobody was even thinking about. So it's crazy that we have that now as almost a standard already. So I'm really looking forward to how it will be in like 3 or 5 years.
It's going to change a lot more, I think, also.
Yeah, probably.
But then again, in 5 years' time, everything's going to be like, 10 gene combos. So you're not going to be able to be anymore.
It's still harder to hit them with shed testing or not. It's still the same odds. It's just about knowing what we have.
No, but what I mean is it's just going to become the standard, right? I think. Then you're going to need it anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
It's great that we have it. Oh, what about Scrambler? Do you know anything about it?
I mean, I am pretty sure it's in research right now, but that might be more in like the beginning stages. So.
Yeah.
It's definitely not near towards the end yet. There isn't so many examples yet. It's not as people know about it, but not so many people have it still. So getting the sheds is definitely not as common as like Stranger and stuff like that. So.
Or then like, if someone has it and it's not Scrambler, it doesn't help their research.
Yeah.
I'd say that would probably be the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
No shade to anyone, but I really hope it does prove out to be its own thing, because I love those things. I mean, even if it is line breeding, like they say, I mean, the animals that I see coming out of Canada, I think they're unreal. So, nomination time. I think a running theme here in the podcast is that the guest gets to
Nominate
basically
the
nominate another breeder to come on the show. And Devin, I'm gonna cut off your mic because I don't want you to butt in here. Tereza, you're on the spotlight. Devin, you're gonna have your own chance some other time, right?
Well, he knows I'm gonna say his name, but I'm gonna again, force Michael to do this podcast. So Michael from Happy Alls.
Man,
he knows the more we pressure him and the more we say his name, that he's gonna just have to come on.
Did you say no already to your last request?
Huh? Sorry?
Like his name was already mentioned, but I'm curious if he declined or something.
Do you know what it is? I speak to him because obviously I don't know if people know, but he's Portuguese. He lives in France, but he's
I know
in Portugal as well. So we speak often enough, I would say. And I was talking to him about it, and even before the podcast started, I had reached out to him, and he wants to do it. He says he has no time to do it.
Come on.
The last 3 times I spoke to him, he's been trying to find a Friday that he's gonna be free. So
I'm sure there'll be one Friday
I'm just
in the future.
Devin, it's the same with Ricardo from Most Wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've also been trying to get him on, but he's always got something, or it's either date night Friday or whatever. So it's like, when you're getting married anyway, date nights don't matter anymore. But yeah, it is what it is. People have lives, obviously, so I just gotta respect that. And when the time comes, I'd say they'll be here. But yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on. Tereza, mainly. Devin, our emotional support.
Yep.
Golden Retriever.
No, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to come on and stuff. Tereza, I hope you're enjoying the States and that Sean's not working you too much, too hard. So yeah, I hope you come back in one piece to,
I'll be ready.
Yeah, get hands on and make the European people happy.
Yeah, I'm definitely ready. I'm excited. I'm excited to bring the new tests back and get it all going. So
I'm excited for it to come back and everything runs. Snake, everything.
Yeah.
One thing I was gonna ask and I completely forgot is actually before we go, what is the timeline on the website? Do you have any idea?
Well, we are hoping that maybe like a month, but that's probably very optimistic. So it will probably be longer. But I think maybe before that we will have the other ways of ordering, which I will reveal soon.
I mean, I just hope it's something similar to what they have in the States.
Maybe.
Yeah, it would be awesome. It would be awesome.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to send in mail order forms.
Yeah.
We'll send you a letter. Yeah, you'll send it back to us with what's on it, and then we'll let you know by post 6 months later what the results were.
Man, heartbreaking. But yeah, so if people want to reach out to you, if people want to order a test, how can they do that?
For now, we rely heavily on social media. So best way is repgen.eu on Instagram, repgen.eu on Facebook, or even yeah, thank you, or even repgen.eu@gmail.com. So those are the 3 main sources of ordering right now. People sometimes message us on Prague Morse, which is fine, but because we're trying to keep it separate and not get it chaotic, with snakes and stuff, we will direct people to repgen.eu. So that's the main place.
don't message Pragmorphs, people.
If you
No,
do,
you-
I'll stay with it.
Leave him alone. He's working on hypo puzzles. Leave him alone.
Yeah, so usually we just direct people to me and I give them all the information. That actually, oh, you reminded me of something. If I can say one more thing. We talked
Please.
about the size of the shed that we need and stuff, but a lot of people are asking me like how to send the shed. So usually I tell people that you can use a plastic bag or a paper envelope. You don't have to put it in the freezer, because sometimes if the shed is still wet, a little bit wet or something, or humid, and you put it in the freezer, you freeze it, and you take it out, and it's still wet, right? So we even started using paper envelopes because if it happens that it's a little bit humid, it has more chance of drying in the paper envelope than in the plastic bag. So
It's
just
actually
you have to
great.
just make sure that it's like closed well, so the shit doesn't fall out and stuff. But we've been using those a lot, and the big breeders here also, like Kinova, they send everything in little paper envelopes, and that's a
That's
really
actually
good,
great that
really
you-
good way to do it. So I want to make sure that people know this stuff, and yeah, that was the main thing. And make sure that the shed is, if you put it in a plastic bag, make sure it's dry because humidity, that's the killer of the DNA. So if the
Yep.
shed's dry, the run should be fine. Even if there's like cocoa, stuff like that, we can work around that. We've had results where it doesn't matter if the shed's like dirty, let's say, it matters if it's wet.
Yeah.
So that's
And that's
something
great that
I
you spoke
wanna make.
about that because
Yeah.
I wanted also to get to speak about it because the norm for us here is to send it in plastic bags, but I see it in the States. They're all using these little paper envelopes
Mhm.
to send
Yeah.
them. So it's
Yeah.
it's great that you spoke up on that. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, thank you very much, guys, for coming on and helping out.
Thank you for having us.
Very, very good episode, in my opinion. There's a lot of good information. Yeah, guys, go follow repgen.eu on Instagram, Pragmorphs
Thank you.
on Facebook, and all that kind of stuff.
15.
So yeah, I'm not good. I'm not kicking him out yet. He's the co-host. He has to stay to the end. That's his punishment for being a co-host.
Call it
But no,
punishment.
like I said, thank you so much, guys. Yeah, so I'm just gonna bring you guys off screen and yeah, address the people and then end the live. If you guys
Thank
want to stay back, feel free. But again, thank you so much for coming on and enlightening us, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, Devin and Tereza. Thank you so much. Awesome. Yeah. How's that, Andy?
Was a very good episode, man. Yeah, before we were a bit worried about like having 4 people at the same time on, but I think it turned out great. So
yeah, yeah, I have no complaints. Also, yeah. But yeah, guys, I mean that's a wrap. A huge thank you to Tereza and Devin for coming on and sharing so much value with us today. If you've enjoyed this episode, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, share this with another keeper or breeder. We're building this community within Europe together, and every bit of support helps us keep this passion alive and this dream of community, let's say. So you can find more of my work at Pappy's Premium Pythons on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Morph Markets. The same for Saltering Serpentines. Andy is on Instagram. He's on YouTube, Facebook. I don't think you're on TikTok, Andy, but definitely on Morph Markets.
not yet, yeah. Morph Market, yes. So yeah.
Check out the animals that he has. He's got some fire there, with the ham shows coming up. Yeah, don't miss out. There's some crazy deals he's got there. Great animals. But
Thanks.
yeah, guys, that's everything. So until the next time, stay focused on the passion and keep those projects moving. Pappies out.